taking the time to understand the numbers in your business is going to pay bigger dividends than almost anything else that you're going to do. And when you're new in business, taking the time to track your income and track your expenses rather than pushing that off to somebody else really has huge dividends, even way down the road. When you're now a bigger business and you've got somebody reporting to you, you've got a better understanding of what these numbers are. Most small businesses, in my experience, has been don't ask the right questions to understand and get a clear expectation of what their bookkeeper is going to do for them. So I'm Steve.
I'm Riley.
Tax Force is our company. What's the segment called? The segment's called Teaching Riley.
We had a client the other day who had hired another bookkeeping firm to do her books for her. She had said that she was really excited to be working with a bookkeeper because she really wanted to be kept on track with her expenses. And you were a little bit iffy about her saying that because that's not really what a bookkeeper does. So we know that a bookkeeper's job is to keep track of your expenses, but there is a big difference between tracking your expenses and keeping you on track.
There really is, and that's an awesome insight, Riley, that we've talked about here. When you're in business, when you're a small business, you're wearing so many hats, right? And you're just trying, sometimes it feels like you're having trouble staying above water. You know, you've got employees that you have to look after. You've got customers that you have to look after. You've got government regulations that you have to look after. And so you start bringing people on board to try to help and guide you and provide information back to you. And one of the things that often gets outsourced is the bookkeeping. Because nobody likes it.
No.
I mean, that's just the truth. There are very few people that actually like the paperwork of going through and keeping track of your invoices and of all your expenses. And now we've got great systems that we utilize to help it make it simpler for customers, right? We use QBO, QuickBooks Online. We use Receipt Bank, which allows you to just take a picture of a receipt and it captures a lot of the information. So there are great systems out there that you can use. But even with all of these easy systems, we find that there's still resistance to wanting to do this job. There really is a difference between hiring somebody to keep track of your information and someone to keep you on track, right? When you're looking at tracking the information, it's literally about getting the information and organizing it, right? You take all your invoices, you make sure they're all recorded in sales. You take all your receipts and make sure they're like your fuels with your fuel, right? You've got all of your different expenses properly categorized and entered on the correct dates. That's keeping track of expenses. Keeping you on track is a big leap forward. What I want to make sure we're talking about today is about setting proper expectation. And it's exactly what we talked to this client about. When we heard this, we're like, we really want to make sure that you're setting the tone and setting the expectation with this person so that the relationship is going to work well. Because most bookkeepers, you have to imagine, if a bookkeeper is looking after 20 or 30 companies, are they committing the time to ensure that you're paying your bills when they're supposed to be paid? Or that, you know, sometimes in business, you have 60 days to pay. That could be the terms. So is your bookkeeper keeping track of that for you? Are they paying the bills right away at 30 days? Are they waiting till 60 to pay to help out with your cash flow? Like, these are things that definitely have to be communicated. And this is your expectation of your bookkeeper. And again, a lot of small businesses will get in to a relationship with a bookkeeper and not properly set this tone, mostly because they don't know what they're looking for. They're just like, here's a pile of stuff that I'm overwhelmed with. Would you please take care of this for me? Not realizing what they're giving away and what they're expecting to get back.
So the bookkeeper's job is to track the expenses. So then, is there somebody you can hire to help keep you on track?
Accounting firms and the consultations that we have with clients is at a higher level, and this is where we can get into talking more about what do these numbers actually mean. And even with that, though, we need to rely on the client to say, how often do you want to be going over this? Like, do you want to be going over this on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on an annual basis? Now, these are clients that are doing their own books. Again, the minute that you engage someone to take care of that task for you, you're giving away some of that responsibility, and you have to actively work towards understanding the work that that person is doing. The information's tracked, but you're not kept on track.
Right.
You have to take the time to read through those numbers and understand what they mean and ask questions about them.
Right. So instead of just hiring a bookkeeper and just expecting them to take care of everything, you should be focused more on how you can work with your bookkeeper to kind of figure out what's best for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Their job on the surface is tracking the information. It's making sure that they've not missed anything, that the bank balances, that you've got all of the income and expenses properly recorded. And again, that's a big difference from analyzing what those numbers mean and making business decisions on those. And that's where there's a big gap in a lot of small businesses, not understanding that there's a difference in those two things.